Okay, guys. So we are talking about satire and irony today. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at some comics because they kind of show what the definition of satire is. So satire is when an author makes fun of a thing in society in order to make a point and to inspire change. Okay. The thing about satire is it doesn't always read as comedy and it doesn't always read as somebody making fun of somebody else. Okay. So let's take a look at um, this first comic. Okay, you've got a bunch of animals lined up. You've got a guy at the desk that's obviously a teacher, and he says, "For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree." Okay. Now we know an elephant and a penguin and a seal are probably not going to be able to climb a tree, right? A fish in a bowl is not going to be able to climb a tree. And then underneath it, it says our education system, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. By Albert Einstein. So this is making a commentary on our school system and how school has been done for a very, very long time, with sort of the standardized testing. Okay, everybody takes the same test. Well, we all know logically we don't all learn the same way, and we don't always show what we know the same way. So this is making that commentary on the school system. It's making fun of it in kind of an offhanded way, in order to inspire the change that we shouldn't have standardized testing. Okay. If we go down, right, we have a comparison between 1960 and 2010. All right. Um, and the parents are angry. They're saying the same thing, but their audience is different. In 1960, they're yelling at the kid, and in 2010, they're yelling at the adult. Um, and I want you to think about what commentary is that making? You know, it is making the commentary on the place of the parents in the classroom, right? Um, this is an interesting one. If you show your parents, ask them about how school was and who got in trouble if they got an F. Um, and then this is the last one. Okay, you have a kid with a smartphone asking their teacher, "Once I learn how to use Google, isn't that all the education I really need?" Well, is using Google the only education you need? And hopefully you're saying to yourself, no. Okay, because we can learn a lot through Google, but it's not everything. But that's kind of the idea that we see in education a lot is, well, do I really need this? Okay, so all of these are kind of making fun of the education system in order to say, hey, here's some problems that we're having. So in order to understand it, let's look a little bit deeper at um, irony, dramatic irony, verbal irony, situational irony, and what these all are. Okay. Um, where am I? Hopefully this is recording. So irony, um, irony is when expectation does not equal reality. Okay. What is reasonably expected is not what happens. Okay, so that is particularly true of these two. Okay, this one is very much aimed towards literature, okay, where we see something coming that our characters don't see. Okay, we know more than the characters know. Okay, situational irony would be, if I am, you know, running around with a three-tiered cake. Okay, I am not somebody who runs around carrying three-tiered cakes all the time. If I fell, that would not be ironic, right? But if I am in my classroom and I'm teaching and I can't read because I'm an English teacher, that is when a reasonable expectation of a situation does not meet what really happens. Okay. Now, verbal irony is what you guys are pretty good at. Okay, let me erase some of this stuff. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. I'm learning new tools, guys. Not always the easiest. Okay, so let's talk verbal irony really quickly. Okay, so with verbal irony, this is where what we know as sarcasm comes into play. Okay, now the definition of verbal irony is when what is said is not what is meant. Okay, so a lot of times there is sarcasm. Okay, but sarcasm has the unique distinction of the intention to harm. Okay, the intention to make fun of somebody, the intention to make things rough for people. Okay, not all verbal irony is sarcastic, but all sarcasm is verbal irony. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. But we're going to be talking about. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Undo. No. Okay, never mind. We'll just erase it. Okay. So satire is when I am making fun of something with the intention to highlight flaws, which is what we're going to see in a modest proposal. Okay, we are going to be making fun of something with the intention of highlighting its flaws in order to change it. Okay, a lot of times our satire is also what we would call social commentary. Okay, making comments on society. So, hopefully this helps a little bit understand satire. We're going to be looking at it in the respect of Jonathan Swift. So I need you to keep in mind that what he talks about is not, it is not exact. He is not really proposing that we do the things that he says. He is not really saying we should do this. He is saying, look how ridiculous this is. Okay? So, hopefully this helps a little bit. Hopefully this helps prep you for a modest proposal and talking about satire. All right? Have a good day.